Okay, hey, this is a review of the game I played with Monkk. I'm calling him on Skype, and should be interesting. Should have him on Skype. Whatever that gets through. Hey.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, you?
Okay. Good. Hold on. I'm just fixing some stuff real fast.
It's okay.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I have to switch my settings. Any auxiliary microphone. Okay, guys. So I have to stop the stream real fast, and so you can hear my microphone. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, stop the stream, and okay. Yeah, I restarted the stream. So hopefully you guys can hear him and me at the same time. Hopefully, like I said again, my internet doesn't drop again. So yeah, that would suck. Okay, take it away, Tyler.
Well, so you're asking about the F-16 move?
F-16.
The T-space?
Yeah, well, I'm just not into that, yeah.
Okay, so the idea behind it's like I wanna kind of break up the center in a way, and because C16 and C6 are both low, it becomes harder for black to develop the left side. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I want to play farther away because I'm trying to account for Q16. So if I played a low approach, it becomes harder for white to deal with the left. Where if I play a high approach, later on I can attach here. Yeah, and this is just one possibility, but white can kind of break into the left, so it's I don't know, it has a lot of follow-ups, and it kind of leaves white flexible as well.
Yeah, F16, if black plays E17, that kind of looks uncomfortable too, so...
Yeah, it's, I think white will just back off here now, because it's kind of hard for black to develop... Like, black can take points, but it's hard to develop, like, any part of the board on a large scale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so, you know the double approach when you're saying it was too low, would F4 be a better response for you to handle that, or?
It's kind of the same, because the low part is the left side, right? Like, the bottom side's not that important, other than that you're attacking the D4 stone, the cornerstone. So, when you double approach, usually white's going to lean on one side, and since both the stones on the left are low, white doesn't mind leaning on them, basically. The reason is, like, since they're low, like, even if it's something simple like this, even if you play the F4 one, it's hard for black to get too many points on the left. Like, you have to spend a lot of moves. It's kind of, it's just hard. If you take the corner, then it's like, oh, I can just push you lower. So it's hard to develop the left. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not worth, since both stones are low, it's kind of like not worth investigating if you can push me low, right?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. Like, say white had a stone at E17, and you double approach, right? It's kind of the same idea for white. Because after this is done, white can push here, and it's like you get points, but it's hard to get more than that later. Yeah, so it's a little overconcentrated.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of the idea behind
Okay,
it.
yes. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so you put here. So I just take the corner. Because at this point I'm looking at it, it's like, if you get the upper left corner and I get the bottom left corner, and the two right sides are the same, then the bottom left's a little bit bigger than the upper left, and I have Komi, so I feel like it's a slightly good position for white.
Yeah, and if I played C7, the E7 cut looks pretty harsh, yeah.
E7. It's a little hard for white to play right now, though, because you can kind of start surrounding the corner.
Oh,
Right? I have to, like, defend
so,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. I think if you play...
Oh, so maybe that's a better move?
Yeah, I think, F16 is kind of saying white's going to take control of the center. So if you try to take control of the center after white, it's hard to make it work when you're investing, like... You're kind of investing 3 stones for the center, and I only have 1 stone. So it feels like, it's hard to make it work well, but you're spending more stones for it. Yeah, if you just defend, then this is still fine. Yeah, and then white can like aim at stuff, but yeah, this is more normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah, this is fine. So from here, the rest of the game, my strategy is to always have more co-threats, so that I can play V8 later. That way, like, now it's even harder for you to build the left if I just play that way. That's kind of how it's
yeah.
You should probably Hane here. If
I figured, like, okay, he wants me to Hane.
No, you should Hane. Like I can't. If I take the corner, it's like way too painful, right?
Yeah.
So if I extend, you can play. Well, you could play E3, but it's not so good here. You could play E2, and I have to defend the corner. If I play somewhere else, you can jump to the 3/3 point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Usually, E2 is a move when you can't play. When E3 is like there's no cut here in the in this region, then instead of E3 you can play E2, and it's a little better for the bottom. So white will block, and then depending on what white wants to do, usually white will defend, but white can also like sometimes counterattack, and it's a little tricky.
Yeah.
Because this one defends the Ko now, so the Ko's bigger, even though white loses some corner. And white can aim at stuff here. But, yeah, the key moves just, Hane and then E2 is good, the Kosumi.
So, cutting wouldn't... I didn't read it out, I kind of just played, like, okay, go play safe, like, would a cut work here? Like,
cutting when?
Like, you cutting me.
Oh, when? Or where?
When I Hane.
Oh, cutting here?
Yeah.
I don't know, I didn't think about it. I think you can just do this, though. Seems hard for white to play something now.
Okay, I see.
Because you have a ladder, right?
Good, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so this is a little passive, because
yeah, I know.
it's like you're saying you're trying to play safe, but actually these stones become harder to use and harder to manage now. Because later if I like push here, you're almost forced to like defend, right?
For like long.
Yeah, so if I get stones on the right, it's like it's a lot of pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, this is interesting. I think you should turn first usually, and maybe just make a base.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, because white can't really like ignore the turn, so I thought about actually pushing here, but
I actually thought so too. I was like, oh man, that would hurt.
yeah, but since I have a small advantage, I figured I'd just play safe. I didn't really mind.
Thank you.
Yeah, so turning's okay. The thing is, if it were like this, if you already had turned and you approached at Q03, the balance of your stones is kind of weird. Like, you still have to spend a move to defend, right? And
Yeah.
even then, there's kind of weak points left.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you get all the points here, in the end game, it's like not that much. If that makes sense. So it feels like 03 is kind of wrong direction. Like,
Okay.
if you defend, right, and let's say white takes this corner, well, probably you should do something in the upper left, but you could also just take this side, right?
Okay.
Even though you like this stone, you're only losing like 9 points in this area, I guess. If you get it all, but the right side's much bigger. It's more critical. Although I think on the whole board, maybe dealing with F16 is best, because that stone's just sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So another thing about like, so if I started with your F16 stone, like I know you said there's many variations, but I don't know. In my case, I don't know how to play that at like D14, or because if I pincer, it doesn't really do anything because it's so far away, and it's high.
Yeah, I don't know what the best answer for black is. I actually don't really like this.
Right now,
yeah, actually, I don't know. I don't play this. I stopped playing this opening as black for a while.
Okay.
Recently, I like this one, but I mean, I can't really say the fifth move of the game is wrong, right? But it's I don't really know what the best way to deal with this is. I think.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward. Like no matter, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard for black to really do stuff with it. I feel like maybe this one is a little difficult. White'll answer like this. And now if I lean here, because you have a high stone, or higher stone here, it's fourth line, you can make more on the left. It's maybe possible. But I'd worry about
I see.
having too many stones on the left. That now is my other concern. Yeah, but I mean...
So would you still lean that way if I had that stone?
Yeah, probably. Because...
Okay.
If it's like this... And then... I don't know, I'd probably attack here. If it's like this, even though you have a lot of stones on the left, it's still fairly open. Right? And... Black can't really make points in many other places besides the left. I feel like Black's committing a strategy to developing the left. So
that's true.
I don't think it's necessarily bad for Black, but it feels like White's plan is pretty easy. Yeah.
I gotcha. Like I'm over concentrated kind of on
that. Just kind of like trying to push Black all over there, and White will take everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, so at this point I'm like pretty okay. And I came back here since I have the F16 stone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should most of the time it's better to not hane on the outside, but to cut.
Oh.
Yeah, it's there's a few the easy variation. You don't see it much anymore, is just Atari twice. And take this, and then Black kind of needs a move here, because otherwise there's a peep. This is like the easy variation, but in this case you end up kind of close to your stones here. And if I take the coat, it's similar to in the game. Yeah, and White gets Sente, which is good. But so the harder variation is like is extending here. And then White extends, and then Black plays here. It's kind of a Tessage. So the old way to play this is for White to play here, and Black blocks, and Black makes a sacrifice. Or White kind of makes a sacrifice. I have to remember this exactly. I don't play it much. I think...
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and something like this, and... White...
Oh my god, it's so complicated.
No, White basically gives up the corner to get this influence on the side. Oh, this jump is wrong. I think it's here. But basically,
Okay.
white gives up the corner to get really strong influence. But I don't really like this for white so much. So instead of playing b17, I'll play here. And this variation is a lot more complicated, but the idea is basically, again, to give up these stones, but to get a lot of center influence as compensation.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so now white has like a pretty strong position, a pretty strong wall, and incente, and these are kind of close together. So,
Okay.
yeah, that would be my plan. And the corner is actually not so big because black has to still play a move, and he has to play all these moves on the inside to capture the stone, so it's really only like 10 points. It's not actually that big.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of my plan. But this one is even easier for me because now my position is pretty strong. I normally wouldn't play d16, but because you have stones here in by c8, it's kind of similar to the earlier plan for me. It's like kind of pushing you all to be over concentrated here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just push me together, yeah.
Yeah, and then I
Okay.
take Sente, and even and compared to the other variation, white didn't have to sacrifice anything. White just got a strong group, so it's a little better. Yeah,
So maybe I lost more there in that, that...
maybe
if
you
I-
lost like 5 points or something. Like
Okay.
like locally maybe 5 points, and then in terms of direction, it's still. I mean, it was still the problem from before, but yeah, the direction is the biggest issue.
Okay.
Yeah. This is, I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if any particular response by black is better here. I kind of feel like,
Yeah, I kind of just played regularly. I was like, I have to protect this.
yeah, I kind of feel like you can Tenuki here, but I'm not really sure what to do. You might consider playing like a high move to force me, and then trying to expand really large. Something like that.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because you're kind of behind with regards to the center, also,
Yeah.
or like in developing the center, but it's I don't know. This is okay. The problem with this is you're playing for territory, I guess, but you're kind of behind in territory. Like, if you can
So
if you think
too
of
passive again.
it's not passive or not passive. It's like you have to the way the game's going. I'm gonna win by like a small margin, like 5 points or something, 10 points. So even though you're playing safe and patient, you're not giving yourself opportunity to like kind of overcome that small difference, right?
Okay.
And then the longer
Yeah.
the game goes, it's harder to get opportunities because the position gets more solid.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is fine. Normally when you play this move, the R8 stone, you can follow up here right away. Just make it an exchange and then back off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if white plays like this, you can get a lot of forcing moves in a stronger position.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice,
and if
nice.
white will back off, and then later, if you get to play S7, it's like a good endgame move. It's a useful exchange.
Okay. Yeah.
I played this to make co-threats, and to also make it harder for you to reduce the top.
Yeah, I know. I was
Yeah.
like, oh man, he's pushing me though. No.
Yeah, I wasn't planning to, like, I could also like invade later, because you, or maybe
Yeah.
here, because you have 2 weaknesses or 2 weak areas. But since I was like had a slight lead, I figured I'll just play the ko, and it's easier this way. This one makes the ko harder for you because you already defended the territory, right?
I know. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so I think now you have to like play a reduction move. You can't really defend the left, because you don't have enough points on the board, right? If you kind of count or estimate, the way I'm looking at it is the bottom left and the middle left, like this area, are about the same, and the top is bigger than the right, and the bottom right's actually fairly close to the bottom because white has this endgame later, usually, which is really big.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's usually
God.
the aim of the Q2 stone can aim at invading, but also just the endgame is really big. So
Okay.
yeah, so since the right and the bottom are about the same, and the left are about the same, and the top is bigger than the right, black's still trailing a little bit.
And you have to call through it.
Yeah, yeah. So you have to play some sort of reduction, make me lose points. The other thing is, yeah, there's no point, or not no point, but it's hard to defend the left because there's a ko later. So you're investing in something that has like a hole in it, maybe, so it's kind of hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, when you played the gold thread, it felt like you had a lot more. So.
Yeah, that's kind of just mostly because of the stone, I guess. I don't. Yeah. Do you have any questions or anything so far?
Yeah, I was just about to ask, is J4 kind of small? Because I kind of felt like you're going to play there if I ignored it. I was going to ignore it right there, Tanuki.
I think it's small right now, but it's hard to find another move. If you reduce, it becomes very dangerous when I play things like, I don't know, M3 maybe. Because now, even if you, even if you live here, it's still kind of vulnerable to being under attack. Like this.
Yeah, because I still don't have, I
yeah, you don't have eye shape, but at the same time, it is a very, like, slow move, so it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah. I thought that was close, but I felt like, I don't know, you could have caused a lot of stuff in there, which you did anyways with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to find a good move for block. I think at this point the game is pretty simple, and yeah, it's kind of hard.
Pretty easy.
You definitely have to fight this ko. It's way too big to give it up to me, especially because it's Sente for you to defend here. Or Sente for me when you have to. So even if you're going to lose points here, you have to find some sort of ko threat. Like, wait, well, you did play this one eventually. Maybe not there though. Maybe this one. But you definitely have to find some kind of ko threat. Otherwise, it's like just way too big a loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like in the end, like, because you still have A7, but I guess it looks better for black that way.
In this shape?
Yeah, like you could have just double Atari and then you would have, well, not won the ko, but.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Wait.
When we're playing the ko, like right here.
If I play A7?
Is A7 bad? I thought you could have just done that.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. What do I play next? I can't really play B9 because you can kind of start messing with the corner.
Oh, okay.
And then I think you can just capture this.
Okay, I figured. Yeah, you could have like extended and killed my stones before anything happened.
Yeah, it's kind of risky, right? I can't connect now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's also not like very good shape for me, because now later this point also just becomes like a headache.
Okay.
Like if I defend here, you can cut, and if I defend here, then you can go under. And this shape, even though it's kind of eating into your territory, has no eyes yet, which is really dangerous.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, so it's not really a shape I want.
That's the reason kind of why I came up so fast. I was like, okay, he has A7, and I thought you could have extended and lived.
Oh no, yeah, definitely not. Yeah, no, you definitely have to fight the ko. Otherwise, there's no chance. Yeah. Most of the time, you should fight the ko. This kind of if you're giving up a ko, it's okay. If you give up a ko and gote, you're just kind of taking a loss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this clamp was interesting because I actually thought you would have pushed me down.
Oh, from the center? Like
Yeah.
here? The thing is,
Or
you
is that
still
just-
can
I
break
don't know.
in. Like, it's not super secure. And my Q13 stones already kind of paid for themselves because they won me the ko, and you responded underneath them, so they're kind of light. I can sacrifice them. If I go for the center, it's not so bad, but it's kind of hard to do it directly. Like if I double Hana, I'm not, maybe not that, but I still have to kind of come back to defend, and you can still come in, and it's helping you solidify.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. If I play the clamp and you break out, like kind of in the game, if you defended here, for instance, I still could make a moyo like this or
Yeah, that's why I didn't play it. Yeah,
like this.
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So it's not actually like losing me much in the center though, right? And I get to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
points on the side and break and take away your points. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of variation here once you push out. I definitely think pushing out is better though. If you give me the connection on top, it's really big. This is kind of a strange place to reduce. I guess you're trying to like make points here, is the idea?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was kind of the idea. But I'm trying to push you low too. So.
Right. The problem is when you do this. So I thought you would defend like here ish, but I understand that you were like trying to keep up in points, or like make me get less. But then after this, I kind of end up connecting to these stones.
Yeah, so I kind of lost purpose.
Yeah, so it's but I think the thing is from the start when you shoulder hit or the shoulder hit is kind of not in a good place because it can't both take these stones and reduce me. So I think it's better to play either a move that's strictly reducing or a move that's strictly trying to build and not kind of go for one of like a halfway move because if you play a halfway move, you usually end up getting half of it, but then it's not as good as if you played a full. It's not as good as if you like played a move from the start, right? It just like went to surround
Yeah, I lost more than yeah.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. From here, it's mostly just small endgame things. Was there anything in particular you wanted to talk about from here?
Well, yeah, that was one of the main moves. So that was good.
Which one?
Clarify that for me. So either, the one where I try to push you low, but I kind of like defended the wrong side, and then because I think if I defended or if I connected at N15,
Yep.
you would probably just maybe not. Would L15 could be bad because
It's
you
not
went K16.
bad. Yeah, I'd rather play K16 because this one gives you forcing moves. Right? Whereas
Okay.
if I play K16 and you connect, then I can kind of get to the center first. Like, kind of who gets ahead here is critical for who's going to develop their moyo better. Does that make sense? So if I play like
you'd rather
this,
play that way.
if I play like this, then you can keep pushing. You like kind of get ahead of my stones, and then you kind of develop yours into the center. Is that right? If you
Yeah, I
get
see,
one more
yeah.
move here, whereas if I get like this, then this move is ahead of this. So you always have to follow up almost. Otherwise, the cap kind of starts making you have to defend. Yeah, but then I can kind of even here I could start pushing you, like pushing you together while I'm kind of building up.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of one of
Wow.
those border points. Do you know about that? Like, here, I'm gonna quickly make a game. I have to think of a game.
You mean like see where my border is or something, or where my,
Yeah, if like we both have moyos developing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how to make this. Okay, well, I'll just do a really easy one, like... Yeah, something like here. And then I did...
Are you like remembering one of your games or something?
No, I'm just trying to make something that's believable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, somehow it's, let's say it's like this for some reason. Like, white has a huge wall here, and... Okay, so right now there's kind of two moyo things going on, right? I'm gonna waste a move. Where would you play as black here? Maybe make this like a bit. It's really hard to make this believable, but like in this kind of shape, where would you play? Oh, actually, this is pretty. Yeah, if it was like as black, where would you play?
Oh, this is okay. This is hard. So you already see like a really vital point right now.
Yeah, kind of two vital points.
Or
but one is slightly better, I think.
is this like the one where oh sorry, where like a I don't know if it was bats or somebody. You know how they say you draw the line or something.
Yeah.
I was trying to say it on my stream one time before.
Oh,
and how
yeah.
deep you can go in.
Kind of. That's for reduction.
Like, yeah.
But this one's more like about two competing moyos. So if you play here, actually I'm gonna get rid of all the stones in the bottom right, just to make this easier.
Okay.
But like right now, let's say, so black could make an extension here, right? This is a pretty big point. But then white can press black like this and just start making huge points here, right? But so instead, black, even though the right side's big, black should play here, because now white can only extend kind of this way, right? It's very different than going across the board, right? Whereas like it's a huge difference between this, where like white's has like an extra 20 points. And so what we say here is that these two are like at the border of the two moyos, if that makes sense. So whoever gets the next move to press or like turn at the moyo is going to be at a very big advantage, because they control kind of like how the center or the rest of the moyos will develop.
I see.
Yeah. So when we're playing our game, it's much further. Or we were talking about K16.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is similar, because now the L15 and the K16 stones are at the border of two moyos, and so I can get this move first, and it lets me grow more and reduces how much you can grow by.
Wow. Okay, so in that situation, I guess I would play like a K13 or something like that. Would that be okay?
If I play,
yeah,
you can play here.
Okay.
Because if you like played here, right? This seals off the center from the right, but then this move is also like at the border of two moyos, right?
Yeah. Then
I started coming in your way.
My border for nothing.
Right, and then I'm starting to grow like over here a little bit.
Yeah, and you might be able to extend, or for your Q13 stones.
Q13. Yeah, that's true too. But just like in terms of like the direction of building, yeah. So those are kind of key. And then if I cut this way, I said it earlier, but now you get to like grow your side first, as opposed to mine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and then this code I realized later is like Oh man, another code there when you played 8-9, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, I can't win that. And I reduced it by like another 5 more points. So I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know how to play this one. This one is kind of.
I don't think you have a really good move here. I think you should just let me
Yeah.
connect, and then you can probably just defend yourself. I have to spend a move anyway, and then I just come back. It's almost better for you than the game because you don't get the points here, but you get Sente. And
Yeah, see, again, like, why wouldn't you? Is it because I could push you if you played 04?
04. Oh, here? Yeah, it's again, if I play here, you can go there and play here.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
like taking the one stone isn't as important as like kind of the shape my whole framework or how my stones are working together. Because you get like taking the one stone's big, but you get a forcing move. Like if this forcing move wasn't important, I would play 04. But since it is, I'd rather play P3.
Wow. Okay. So see, I gotta think like that. I still have to work on my framework and, like you said, getting ahead on stones or whatever.
Yeah, getting in front of them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of important towards the end of the opening because at that point everyone's kind of has their parts, but then it's like, how do you build from there?
Yeah. Oh man, I need to like read some books or something.
Yeah.
So did you study, or I don't know who I was talking to, either you or Demon or something well, I think it was your video if I'm not mistaken.
What?
That you read like a couple of Joseki books what was it?
Oh, how I got to Wondon?
Yeah.
I read 2 books. I read Attack and Defense from the elementary series, and I read Directional Play.
And that improved it by that many, like, that was like 4 or 5 ranks?
Yeah, that got me from
your-
like 5Q to 3Q just from reading, and then like as I played more to try to get into my game, that got me basically to Wondon.
Wow,
I think the
that's
one other
awesome.
I did the one other thing I had to learn on my own was like how to use thickness. I kind of asked around for that and looked stuff up on Sensei's library. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that good too with influence too much. It's kind of hard. Like I lose my direction a lot of times.
Yeah. The biggest thing with influence, I think that a lot of people make a mistake with is they try to like make points with it. How do I explain that? Is there a good shape here? So let's say at the beginning. Okay, let's say you invaded for some reason now. You'd invade here. Well, it might be too late now. This is not a good board for this. Let's say... I'm trying to find a way to do this. Okay, so let's say it's like... I want to just simplify this. And move this stone over. And then let's say white invades here for whatever reason, right? How do you respond to this?
I think you... Is C14 too small? I don't put it there.
C14? Okay, and then white runs out. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is figure out, white can go in 2 general directions. They can go to the up or they can go down, right? Like they can go towards the top or towards the bottom. You have to think which direction is better for them to run in. If white runs downward, like towards these stones, you run the risk of later Like if you chase later, white can start coming out to surround this, and this group is not as strong as the upper left group. Right? Just these two stones by themselves are pretty much alive, while these ones down here are kind of could be in danger. So
okay, that's interesting.
Okay, so the part where thickness comes into play is when white invades, you can play. Well, you can attack from here first, right? And then black goes here, white goes here, and then you can make a small wall, right? Because you have these forcing moves. So it's kind of a leaning attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then white has to run. So when the question now would be like, now how does black play? You want to push white towards your thick positions and away from, like you want to push them from your weak stones to your strong positions. Actually, I think I have a much better example than this. Let me just do this quickly.
There you go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, make it really simple. Is there anything else?
Like this.
So, if white invades here, I want to make another couple exchanges.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out a way to make the center a little stronger without making it too biased. Okay, let's just say white invades here. Where do you play as black? Oh, shoot. Did the call cut out? I think the call cut out. Hey, sorry.
I accidentally cut you off by accident.
It's okay.
Okay. Sorry,
so
I lost probably like 10 seconds ago.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So like this shape might be easier. So if white invades here, how do you? What does black play?
Okay, so I guess push certain thickness, so K5.
Yeah, K5 is fine. And then if white kind of runs like this,
then I guess directly push J5.
Directly push. Okay. It's probably possible because black's so strong. But you don't want to usually try to push. This is kind of pushing from behind, in the sense that white's like ahead of the stone, the H4 stone. So when you're attacking something, you want to try to get in front of it, so that you can always like kind of just chase white into your wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It probably works here because black is so strong that white can't really cut, I don't think. But generally you don't want to push from behind.
Okay.
Yeah, so K5's good because you end up just kind of surrounding it. And white might still live here, right? Maybe like this. But now you have influence in the center, and white's points aren't that met. Like, white doesn't actually have that many points. Even this is kind of scary. Yeah, but since you have influence in the center, so there's two things. There's like, if someone invades into your influence, you're going to be the one attacking. Which means you should almost always take Sente, unless you get over-aggressive. And then, if you have influence from here, even though white lives, white doesn't get many points, and your influence just changes where it is. It's now it's kind of moved over to the center. That makes sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a more simpler version.
Yeah, it was a lot simpler. And then, so since you get Sente and your influence moves, it's like, is your Sente move and all these reinforce it. And it's not like you made no points, too. You still get, like, you get G2, which is points, and you get some moves here. But then you also get Sente, so it's like, is White's living here more points than Sente and the endgame points you get anyway? And it's usually better for the attacking player.
You see.
A lot of players get really greedy. They're like, I want to kill this thing, but I mean, you might kill it, and it's possible. It's actually White's mistake to play K3. White should play high to just reduce.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even this one
that
is.
Situation.
Mhm.
Would you? Oh, okay.
You can play here if you feel like you're comfortably ahead, but if you wanted to attack, you would lean. White has to like definitely make shape, but it's a little bit dangerous. Like, you have to defend so many things.
Yeah, so all the cut point, yeah.
Yeah, and this group is still like kind of has no eyes yet. And the same idea is like black just moved this influence from the bottom left over to the center area. And with this one, let's say white eventually settles this group, you could invade the right side. Like, influence is mostly about the pushing them into it so you can build more influence somewhere else, and then using that to support invasions or like build frameworks or get points elsewhere. It's very rare that you want to like directly make points. Like, some people also...
I'm still bad with that. I need to work with influence a lot more.
Yeah, like, I guess the last thing is like some people will play here. They're like, oh, I want to build my points here, right? But usually it's too small, and you take everything else gets hurt. Yeah.
Oh, I see. They're still weak on that side.
Even if they're not, you lose points on the right side usually. Like, if it was like this, I guess. Like, white could still reduce, not there, reduce over here. So it ends up backfiring, kinda. If you try to build territory directly. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want?
I don't know if it was you. Did I ask you last time about the small Chinese?
Yeah, you asked me a little bit about it.
Okay.
This one? Yeah. I don't know, I don't play against it that much for some reason. Professional level, they play this one the most often, but it's kind of... Oops. It's kind of strange. Like, it's kind of opening.
That feels... Well, black could be ahead eventually.
Yeah, it's actually supposed to be even, but it's kind of uncomfortable. The idea is that white's just going to take points and then play a really big invasion and kill and like live everywhere. Yeah, you can play a lot of things though. I don't know. It's pretty open. I think I showed you the local sequence.
I did.
What?
Oh, that okay.
Wait, sorry, did you say
I
that?
heard that like, or I think I watched a video and they said to avoid to approach on like in the K3 or K4 area so that you could if you play Q5, black can't extend as easily to the left side.
I see. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, most professionals will play... K4 was played a lot. It's not played as much now. If you want to directly approach, it's usually here. You can also approach low, but you run the risk of white just trying to take... or black just trying to build a big moyo. But
I think that's what you played last time.
Yeah. It's not really so bad, though, because white can build a big framework also.
Okay.
Yeah. But black might not do that right away, and then play something like this later. So, yeah, low is... it's possible, but less common.
So you like to play high a lot of times. Well, just keep your options open, I guess.
I like to play not, I guess, kind of high. I like to play faster. I guess, like, try to move around the board quickly.
Oh, okay.
And high just happens to be more useful for that. So I'll play this one a lot. This kind of early shoulder hit.
Interesting.
And the idea is that now it's really hard for black to build points on the right. In exchange for... So I'm kind of like giving him points on the bottom, but I get some stones in the center, and it makes it hard for the Q16 stone to work well. And I can still play this later. So I can like kind of still move to the right later. Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
It's a different way of playing, but I don't know. It's just a different way of playing.
And can I,
mhm.
were you the one teaching Jenna, or because I see you guys play a lot?
Yeah, I've been teaching Jenna for like half a year now, maybe. Yeah, we play a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I remember she was a 2Q for a while, and then she stopped playing ranked for like a long, long time.
Yeah. She's probably like maybe high 1Q, low 1 don now.
Yeah, that sounds.
She's got a really good intuition, but she has some bad habits, I guess.
Yeah, when she played that game against me.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see it, but
That's,
maybe I did, I just don't remember.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh man, thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yeah, anytime. Good luck in your games. Yeah. What's up?
I think next, or I want to do this, some sort of format kind of like this, but yeah, like Skyping. I guess I didn't have my audio set correctly, so like Twitch either heard you or me. So, but I'm gonna.
Oh, I see.
I'll try to figure that better for next time.
Okay. That's cool. I'm like trying to make more videos too of like teaching games or other stuff.
Yeah. How come you don't want to stream? Because you feel like a really good person.
I streamed a couple times. I still plan to stream sometimes, but it's kind of easier to make videos. I don't know, because it's not like live, and I kind of get wiped out after work, so then it's late, and I'm like, it's like 8 o'clock. I don't really want to stream. Yeah.
Okay. So you just like to edit, or make videos and just edit them later.
I don't even edit them. I just kind of do them in one take. But it's like, I feel like if I stream, there's a lot of pressure for me to always be streaming or like being consistent. Or videos, I can like put a video every like a couple videos every week or so is like a lot easier than streaming every day.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I was thinking about streaming more though, but I'm not sure.
Yes, do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
That way I don't have to be streaming all the time, because like that's the one reason why I'm streaming, is because like a lot of times when I get home
Mhm.
and I just want to learn some Go, I kind of just like to sit back and kind of like watch other people, take the pressure,
Yeah.
to do good,
Mhm. I know the feeling. Well, Jamel said he was. I mean, Jamel's not like a super strong player, but he said he was going to stream soon, and then there's a whole bunch of other people who said they're going to stream, so hopefully.
Hopefully they do instead of say.
Yeah. I think I was thinking of doing it. I'll try it for a little bit, maybe. I think.
Okay, well, yeah, definitely don't do it if you're tired from work,
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, well, you can use your affiliate account, or do you have another one?
I just have that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
Just let me know so I can follow you, so then I can just.
Okay.
watch
Well, I
it.
streamed the other day, but you're streaming too, so can't really
you
watch.
were?
Yeah, I was. I was streaming
Oh.
games on Taigam.
Okay, I should follow you now. Then I didn't think you were streaming now.
Oh yeah. Well, it was like a few days ago. Yeah. Or maybe
Yeah,
like a week
definitely follow
ago.
you now.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are you still playing more games tonight, or?
Probably I'll be around. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna like get something
Well, if
to eat.
anything, I'll probably watch you.
Okay. Well, I'll catch you later then. Good luck with your
Okay,
games.
thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Bye.
Alright, thanks. Bye.
Okay, well, that's this video. I'm not sure if it'll be more interesting to watch the one where I'm playing or this one, but I hope it was useful. We covered a pretty broad range of topics and that went longer than I thought. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.